One of the great challenges in collecting is utilizing space, or having enough space, or making space to keep your collection. And most of the time, at least for me, there's not always an option to just create more space. That costs money, that takes a lot of effort, there's these other factors that come into play that are not just, can I acquire this item for the price that I want to pay? It's, can I actually store it and keep it and honor it and preserve it the way that I want to, and use it in the way that I want to, and experience it the way that I'd like. And in going through some of my collection, I wanted to figure out how I could save some space, and I saw I had these 3 factory sets from MAXX NASCAR from the 90s. And they're great cards. I'm happy to have them as sealed factory sets, and they take up a lot of space for what they are. They're massive boxes for having 300 cards, I believe. Let's see, 300 cards. This one's 300 cards. This one's 240. So these massive boxes, and they're nicely displayed, and you can get some great stuff inside. There's nothing particularly crazy inside these. You can pick these factory sets up for $5, $10, $15 most of the time, and a lot of the time you see them online and they won't sell. They're not really all that sought after, and there is some great stuff in here, especially if you're somebody that sends autographs through the mail. These are incredible sets to go after, and you get a lot of variety, you get a lot of crew members, you get a lot of the old-time stars, you get some Earnhardts. In this one, you'll have some Gordons. You'll actually have Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s first card, even though people probably wouldn't consider it his rookie card. He is in victory lane with his old man and his brother Kerry in 1993. 1994 Optima or High Gear are known as his rookie card, and he is in this set as well as the 93 MAXX Premier Plus. And I don't believe he's in... There's another version of the MAXX set that came out in 1993, and it had the same color palette that the Premier Plus did. It just wasn't the chromium card, and I can't remember exactly what that was. So anyway, these are really great, sets, really good photography, a lot of great cards to get autographed, like the 2 that are there, to get those signed by Bill Elliott and Richard Petty. I'm all about it, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to open up this 1991 MAXX, 1992 red set, 5th anniversary, and then also the 93. And this will have Jeff Gordon, Bobby Labonte, and Kenny Wallace in it as well. And 1993 was the first year I got into NASCAR, and in my opinion, one of the greatest years in NASCAR ever, for a lot of reasons. In my 1996 Press Pass Premium box opening video, I go into that in more detail if you want to check that out. And another thing is 1992 MAXX had a black and red version, and if you had the 36-pack boxes, you got a little bonus inside the packs. You would get one vintage or previous 4-year, one of the previous 4-year cards inside the pack. So you could get 88, 89, 90, or 91. A lot of the time it was 91, and they made a ton of this product. They made a ton of all the products. 89, I don't know, not so much. And because that product's pretty sought after, pretty hard to come by. Sealed, at least. And the sets back in the day were valued at quite a bit of money, and it has Earnhardt's rookie card in it. That's a debatable situation. Anyway, I'm going to get into opening these so I can save some space, and I will have more cards for my through the mail autograph requests. And at some point, these might be, if NASCAR cards ever reach even a fraction of the popularity of the other sports, maybe these sets will be worth quite a bit of money, and that's okay. Can't keep everything sealed. So let's see. So there's 4 little trays. Guess you could keep everything sealed. There's a little certificate. Let's see. Trademark usage. Company Golden, Colorado. Yeah, okay. So just a little, copyright type card. and I am just going to dive right in. Don't know exactly. Let's see. Do they? No, they're just in random order. That's okay. Bill Elliott, Jimmy Hensley, Tommy Kendall, Phil Parsons. If you're just starting out doing the through the mail autographs, I would recommend picking up these sets. It's a really great way to get a ton of cards of a lot of different people, a lot of crew members, different photography of the same person, like Bill Elliott and some of the greats. Dale Earnhardt is in this set. You get a lot of really great stuff, and it's a really good value. Davey, Gary Nelson, Kenny Bernstein. A lot of products started dropping, so MAXX, it seemed like they were going after kind of the Topps type set. Topps used to make 600, 700, 800 cards factory sets. I think Upper Deck was like a 700 card set or something like that. And they came in these big, the long 800 count boxes for the factory sets. And there was an appetite for that many cards at the time. And some of those sets are still pretty large. And MAXX went from a 100 card set to a 220 card set to a 240 to a 300. And then later on they started to taper off. I mean, by 1996, MAXX as a company was bought by Upper Deck. They went bankrupt or they went out of business. And it stopped with the Made in America product, which had that Dale Earnhardt Sr. autograph numbered to 100, 1988 MAXX card number 99 redemption card in there, and they were not honoring those redemptions. One of my friends, I mentioned in other video, pulled a redemption. He was a dealer, so he would get his stuff straight from MAXX, and they did not honor the redemption because they closed down right in that period of time. Later on, I guess they offered that redemption card in the Upper Deck owned MAXX product in 1998. See, there's an Earnhardt. And so that card does exist out there. And I learned that over the last few years because 1998, 97, I stopped really paying attention to MAXX because I was really into it in 95, 96, and then beginning of 97. And then in 96, 97, in 95, 96, I was really collecting everything. And then in 96, 97, I focused mostly just on Press Pass because they had the relics. David Pearson, that's a great shot of Mark Martin and Jack Roush, Bill Elliott, Victory Lane, Dale Earnhardt with Taylor. I mean, you just get some really great shots. Donnie Allison, I mean, you get some really great stuff. And if you're looking for just a really nice representation of cards to get you started sending autographs through the mail, I would go with these. The NASCAR podcast guys talk about the 1990 MAXX Holly Farm set. It's a 25 card set or a 30 card set, I can't remember. And there are a few people that have passed away on there. And Jason on the podcast is trying to complete that set. He picked up a Benny Parsons recently, I think, and got back Richard Petty and all that stuff. And it is a great, if you want to go for a complete, that's just Dale Earnhardt right there. It's if you're going to complete a set, that's a nice one. It seems attainable. And to go for this full set, to get a whole 300 card set, that's a heck of an endeavor. Just assuming that each person in here was still alive, which they aren't, unfortunately, that would be $300 just in postage, sending 300 cards through the mail. One there, one back. And I think it might be 55 cents. I think it's 50 cents a stamp. I can't even remember. Bobby Hillen, Benny Parsons. I met Benny Parsons one time. I didn't really meet him. I was in 1994, Talladega infield after the race. I was walking back from our car. We had infield. We parked in the infield and we sat in the infield in the the paddock area behind Dale Earnhardt's pit near Victory Lane, which was incredible experience. I was walking back from the car towards the back towards the paddock area, and he was walking in his full ESPN uniform, had his headphones on, his gargoyles on, and he was just larger than life, smiling, waving at people, just in stride, just happy as could be. I stuck my hand out, shook his hand, and his hand, I just remember how freaking huge it was. This was, I don't know how tall he was. I was only, 12 years old at the time, so seeing Benny Parsons in stride, in his element, was an incredible thing to experience. So that was a good memory. Ned Jarrett, I met Ned Jarrett 1995 at the autograph session at the Ford World Headquarters. They call it the Glass House in Dearborn, Michigan. They would do driver appreciation autograph sessions for during the first Michigan race of the year, and which was June, I believe. And they'd have all the drivers there signing autographs, and Ned was there with his son Dale, because Dale was driving the 28 Texaco Havoline car at the time. So he signed a flag I had. I don't have that flag anymore, unfortunately. Anyway, a lot of really great photos. This video is going to take forever if I stop at each. There's Dale with Taylor again. Love that Pure Later car. That's the thing. It's like, it's hard for these 90s colored cars to really show up in a lot of photography properly, and in even on the videos, like those cars, like the Tide car, the Davy or the Havoline car with the yellow and the red or the orange, and the mellow yellow car, those colors just, they're bright color, you get it. You get that they're really appealing color combinations, and they just never showed up correctly on film or on TV. And that's a great shot of Alan Quickie. Old JD. And just to see those cars at Richard Childress, that's an incredible card. Just to see those cars, Rick Hendrick, to see those cars in person was incredible. Jeff Gordon's car, my God, that car was incredible. Even the STP car was beautiful. Like, they were all just electric. And it seems like this year, 2022, the cars have a different look. The different look to the cars is really coming across. Like, it just has this nostalgic feeling for me when I see the cars on the screen. And I can't quite put my finger on it. I know it has something to do with the ride height. I know it has something to do with the placement of the number, and some of the cars have the mirror reflective decals now. My alarm went off, so it interrupted the video. So anyway, I really like the cars that are how they look and how they behave and how the drivers are able to race. Ernie Elliott, they just look, there's just an old school look and feeling about them, and I love it. Other Earnhardts. You get a bunch of Earnhardts in this set, which is really great. Miss Winston. Old Kyle. Dale in Victory Lane again. And Dale in Victory Lane again. All right. So that is the 1991 MAXX factory set in a nutshell. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 Dale Earnhardt Sr. cards inside the 1991 MAXX factory set. So I think this is, just for getting the Earnhardt Sr. cards out of there, that's a pretty great deal. So, and there might be a few more in there maybe I missed. So you got the 1992, this is the red version. It's got the factory seal on it. I do have a video opening a toolbox from 1989 MAXX, so if you want to check that out, you can search my channel, or maybe I can put a link to it somewhere on the screen. Don't necessarily count on that right now because it's going to be a long video, and chances are I'm going to forget to go back and do that. So hopefully hopefully YouTube will recommend that. So you can see the plastic protector was somehow, it got yellowed in a not exactly sure how. Could have been a lot of different reasons. It's another copyright and all that usage thing. You can see though the white, it's perfectly white. The tray is perfectly white, and I'm sure that the cards are fairly safe inside this tray, and also they do bounce around, so you can get probably some damage. All right, Richard Petty. There's just a lot of really great stuff in here, so you can get 2 to 3 of most of the crew members from these sets. So most likely you're going to get a couple in each, or at least like 1, sometimes 2 or 3 of the same like crew member, or or the owner. And then you'll have a nice little group to send off to get autographed of people you're not going to get a lot of cards of in a lot of different sets. At least maybe they do some throwback sets or something like that, and you're able to pick up a Rick Hendrick card or something like that. And it's just a good jumping off point. I'm really happy that these sets exist, and it's really fun to look back at the old photography and what the look of NASCAR was like back in the 90s. Love that shot of Davey. It's absolutely incredible. Never got to meet him. He is my favorite race car driver, and watching the video, the Davey Allison story, and then also Running Wide Open, I just wore those tapes out as a kid. Went through some hard times as a child, and then through adult life, and listening to him and his way of doing things and his outlook on life was incredibly helpful to me. And I'm forever thankful for that positive impact he had on my life. Not only was he a joy to watch racing, his outlook on life, as well as his family's outlook on life, was extremely helpful to me. So I'm forever thankful for Davey. Clifford. I mean, just the story of the Allison family and the loss and the tragedy there within a series of 5 years was just unbearable. Lost both kids. Bobby was hurt in the accident. They lost Pop Allison in 1992. Davey went through that crash. I mean, it's just horrible. That looks very similar to the Talladega Streaks card out of the 1988 MAXX. It isn't the same photo. And that's just so common. Dale Earnhardt leading the pack through the tri-oval of Talladega. Most popular driver, Davey in victory lane. Old Donnie. Man, I rifled through this one. The other one took a lot longer. That's okay. DW. Oh, Felix. Junie. Jeff. Yeah. Let's go back. Look at Jeff. Look at that guy. That hairstyle and mustache, that's very popular right now with kids. It's crazy. It's so funny. One of my buddies sent me a meme, and it said that 19-year-olds want to look like 1992 or 14 to 20-year-olds or something want to look like 1993 Jeff Gordon. And this is 92, still same look with the mustache and the mullet, and you know, it's really funny. Larry McReynolds too. Just everyone involved with Davey Allison was like, they just had a similar disposition about life, and I love it. I absolutely love it. I mean, the way they dealt with the obstacles and the hurdles and things, like just to listen to Running Wide Open with Davey Allison, to listen to that tape and watch that tape and all the interviews of everyone involved with how they got through those hard times is inspiring, and it's incredible, and it was very helpful to me. So let's see, I might have missed a few Earnhardts out of this, I'm not 100% sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then you got a couple Gordons out of here, so that's really cool too. All right, 1993. This is the one that I questioned opening the most because it does have Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s card in there, and I will put it in a penny sleeve and in a thing, because I have a nice little group of those that I'm keeping. I actually have some graded from the Premier Plus, and those are really great cards to have. Anyway, yeah. So fitting that Alan Kwiecki was in one of the top trays, 1992 champion. We lost Alan in April of 1993. It was extremely unfortunate and very, very, it was just very sad. Very, very sad. There's Jeff, Davey. Look at that card. I mean, come on. 93 was incredible. Absolutely incredible. There was a Kenny Wallace, Shauna Robinson, Bobby Hillin, like the photography here. And I think the photography in this green set is different than the blue set. I don't think it's a 1-for-1. I think there's some photography that's a little bit different, if not all entirely different. So Leonard Wood. I mean, you get Tony Eury. Look at these photos from the night. Like, we are so lucky and fortunate that photography exists, and just to be able to just prance back into time. This was the first show car I ever saw in person. In 1994, I saw it at a Winn-Dixie in Alabama, and it was incredible. I took a beautiful picture of it with my Polaroid Captiva, and unfortunately, those photos are gone. Absolutely terrible that those are missing and gone. And it's very sad as to the reason why they're gone and why they're missing. It's a fond memory. Dr. Jerry Punch, I have a memory of meeting him. Talladega 1994, there's actually a picture I have that I think I posted on my Instagram. I met him, I got his autograph. The first time I ever saw him in person, I walked into the bathroom underneath the paddock stands in the infield of Talladega, and he was changing. He was getting into either his street clothes or his ESPN fire suit, because that's where the locker room was for the announcers and the pit reporters and everything. So that was funny story, very funny story. And that hat that I got autographed from him is missing in the same fashion that the autograph or that the photographs are missing. Al Unser Jr., that's an incredible. Drove Daytona 500 1993, crashed with Bobby Hillin and Kyle Petty. He crashed with Bobby Hillin, then Bobby Hillin crashed with Kyle Petty, and that's when Kyle Petty was, pissed off at him and flipped his helmet down. Jeff Hammond, that's a great photo. Awesome. It's fitting that he has the name of America's crew chief. Such a horrible wreck. Such a horrible wreck. I mean, good God. And then the dude went out the following weekend, qualified, raced at Daytona, did all that stuff, and his eyes were like black, like steel. It was crazy. Yeah, just rifling through some of these now. Let's see what we got here. Bill Elliott, Mark Martin, Rick Mast, Morgan, young Ward Burton. I mean, come on. This is the era that folks are, that the younger generation, they're buying T-shirts from NASCAR from this time period. It's beautiful. It's historic. It's American. It's the automobile. There is so much. It's passion. Dale Inman, my man. It's sorrow. It's tragedy. It's victory. It's, oh my God. It's everything. I keep getting interrupted by my alarm. And NASCAR it's everything. It's salesmanship, sportsmanship, how to deal with life, how to, there it is. Dale Jr., Earnhardt Sr., Kerry Earnhardt. Beautiful card. Beautiful card. I haven't seen another Earnhardt in here yet. Oh, yeah, there. Yeah, he's on top of the stack. Sterling Marlin. Rusty. Bobby Labonte. King. Incredible cards. Definitely going to get those autographed. Beautiful cards. It's a great one of Jack Roush. You can't go wrong with getting these factory sets from 90. So I had 91 to 93. You go all the way back to 90, you can get a 90 for a really good price. Those are beautiful black bordered cards. And holy smokes. Brooke, my goodness. I had her her 1994 Trax card with her sitting next to Jeff Gordon on the back of that convertible. Man, oh man, I've talked about that before. Absolutely incredible. So anytime I see a card of her, I always set it to the side since 1994. Set it to the side, old Brooke. And that is it. So thank you for watching me opening these factory sets of 1991, 1992, 1993 MAXX. Got some really great cards. Not as many Earnhardts in the 93 as it seems, unless I just was passing those up. And there are two really great ones. And two Jeff Gordons. And then you did get a Earnhardt card. But by far, this is, in my opinion, the most important card of all three sets because it features Dale Earnhardt and Kerry Earnhardt. Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Kerry Earnhardt, their first time on trading cards. 1994 is the first time they have their own cards. Still, this is very important. And thank you very much for watching. I appreciate you. If you've got to this point, I appreciate you sticking with me. And if you're a NASCAR card collector, please leave a comment. Let me know what cards you like to collect. And if you have any great memories about your collecting NASCAR cards. All right, thanks a lot.